Justin Trudeau will be like, can't afford your rent in Canada? Well, we could always kill you. Yeah, that may not be what the MAID law says in Canada, but that is what they're actually offering. Let's take a look. So now this is the revised version. I'm sure it's so much better than the original. MAID, or Medical Assistance in Dying, is a complex and deeply personal issue. Right. The Government of Canada is committed to ensuring our laws reflect Canadians' evolving needs, support their autonomy and freedom of choice, and protect those who may be vulnerable. But only if you want to die. If you want choice to be able to afford your life, well, you don't get that. Duh. On March 17th of last year, 2021, it's now 2023, changes to Canada's MAID legislation became law. Information on the specific changes that came into force with this new legislation is available on this webpage. Perfect. Let's read some of this crap. So here's one of the changes. The law no longer requires a person's natural death to be reasonably foreseeable as an eligibility criterion for MAID. Okay, that's a little weird. Next, they must satisfy the following criteria. Okay, must be 18 years of age or older and have decision-making capacity. Be eligible for publicity-funded healthcare services. So the people who would want to end their life because they have no money aren't allowed to because you have to have money to do it. Okay? Make a voluntary request that is not the result of external pressure. Meaning what? What is an external pressure? Because I've already seen examples of what, in my opinion, is an external pressure. That's why I mentioned like not being able to pay your bills and stuff, because it literally happened. And don't worry, I'll be proving it with an example after I read through this. Give informed consent to receive MAID, meaning that the person has consented to receiving MAID after they have received all information needed to make this decision. Have a serious and incurable illness, disease, or disability, excluding a mental illness until March 17 of 2023. Which means, in case you didn't know, on the original one, I'll try to pull it up for you, they actually were taking people with mental illnesses. But if they have a mental illness, it means that they can't make a proper decision. So before, you were just letting people die because they had a mental illness that they couldn't handle or control, and then the decision wasn't made properly because of their mental fucking illness. I don't care that you made the change now. Like, you originally were allowing that, and that's pretty fucked up. Be in an advanced state of irreversible decline in capacity. Have an enduring and intolerable physical or psychological suffering that cannot be alleviated under conditions the person considers acceptable. You know, when you write it like this, it's so vague, but whatever. Canadians whose only medical condition is a mental illness and who otherwise meet all eligibility criteria will not be eligible for MAID. Yeah, okay. Oh, sorry, it looks like they will be after this. That's interesting because people were talking about it, but if this is happening later, I'm not really sure why. But, yeah, so it looks like they're starting off somewhat normal and they're becoming fucked up. Okay, even better. The government here is wonderful. This includes conditions that are primarily within the domain of psychiatry, such as depression and personality disorders.
What the hell is wrong with you people?
That is fucked up. That is fucked up. So if a person is just depressed because they have no money, no home, can't pay rent, can't afford food, isolated, whatever, if they're depressed as a result of those things, they can just die. Wow. It's nice that the government cares so much. It does not include neurocognitive and neurodevelopmental disorders or other conditions that may affect cognitive abilities. Right, but depression doesn't affect your cognition at all. Whatever. This temporary exclusion will provide the Government of Canada with more time to study how MAID on the basis of a mental illness can safely be provided and to ensure appropriate safeguards are in place to protect those persons. If you actually cared about protecting the people of Canada, how about just not offer people suicide, and if they are struggling to pay bills or whatever, you help them financially? How about not having the highest rent costs in the world? How about not having the average job in Canada actually be below the poverty line? No? Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Fuck you, Trudeau. So here it says that they want doctors or nurses to assess the person and confirm that the eligibility requirements are met. But the funny thing is, like, I wouldn't expect anybody in the actual medical field to be like, oh, I confirm you are depressed. Time to die. Usually things like help are offered, but again, sure, whatever. Instead of just giving fucking suicide, why can't you just offer free therapy? Why? Government-funded therapy instead of government-funded death. This is the most fucked thing. Alright, I went back to the previous page where the original rules for this were, and honestly there wasn't many changes. Right here they explain like which changes were made, and it was literally just like what is required in order to be eligible for it, but everything else is more or less the same. The page I was reading earlier in the video was the 2021 version. Yeah, but it's more or less the same crap. It's a lot to read through, but no matter how you put it, there's no point in reading through all this. But the point is, and always will be, is that this is barbaric, and the fact that they are deciding to use this as a way to be like, oh, well, you can't solve your problems, just die. Oh, you're depressed, just die. But housing help, fucking mental help, that doesn't fucking matter anymore. That's how much the government of Canada cares. They don't. And before some Trudeau dick-sucking idiot goes, actually, Trudeau just 2 weeks ago released rent help. Actually, he didn't. Now, I know this video is about MAID and it's not about what he did a couple weeks ago, but let me explain to you if you don't know or don't live in Canada. Are you ready for this? Are you fucking ready for this, okay? I am below the poverty line, and I was not eligible for the housing help. Now, before I tell you the reason why, let me tell you what the help was, because it's laughably fucking pathetic. Keep in mind that the average rent price here in like the Toronto area is $2,000 a month. Do you know what his help was? A one-time offer of $500.
Huh?
A one-time offer of $500. That wouldn't even cover 25% of the average rent price in Canada for 1 month. It gets better, by the way. In order to be eligible for it, you had to make under $22,000 throughout the entirety of 2021. What you made in 2022 didn't matter. It was based on what you made in 2021. Now, why is this a gigantic problem? I'll explain to you why. Because back in 2021 and half of 2020, we had something in Canada called CERB. I forgot what it stands for. Canadian Emergency Response Benefit. There we go. But this was $2,000 a month for people who were not at work due to COVID. Okay, due to the lockdown. Okay, that's what it was. And I was getting this. And by the way, it was actually very generous. $2,000 a month was very generous. It was great. I personally loved it. But that's not the point here. The point is that people who made very low amounts of money or couldn't work required CERB. And if you got CERB for the entire year, well, what's $2,000 a month times 12 months? $24,000. You see where I'm going with this? So if you got CERB for the entirety of 2021, or worked for the entirety of 2021, regardless of how you made the money, you were guaranteed to make above the limit of $22,000 for the whole year, meaning that you would not be eligible for the fucking housing help. And to make it even better, as I said, this was only based on 2021 income. Many people, myself included, made nothing in 2022, but that was irrelevant. It wasn't based on what you made in 2022. It was based only on 2021. So before you come at me thinking that this housing benefit that Trudeau fucking offered was good, you are a dumb piece of shit. It was fucking nothing. Now, back to MAID. Let me show you what they're actually doing before they go, oh, well, this is only for people who have these severe medical problems that they can't help. Really? How about this one?
For Christine Gauthier, the fight to get a wheelchair lift in her home has been an uphill battle.
I have to crawl down the stairs on my butt with the wheelchair in front of me to be able to access my house.
While pleading her case to a Veterans Affairs case manager over the phone in 2019, she was told something that would leave her feeling shocked.
If things are so hard at this point and you just can't keep going on, and you know we can assist you with aid to die.
The government of Canada offered her to die because she couldn't get a stair lift. Oh, but Trudeau and the government, it's only for people who have these serious and irreversible problems. So you're telling me that installing a stair lift for her, or maybe doing it cheaper, give her a discount, or even fucking buy it for her, that wasn't an option, right? Right. So fuck you. And she's not the only one. I can't remember where the video was, but there was some other older guy who couldn't afford his rent, and he actually became homeless. And then he was also offered MAID. And that's just 2 examples. I'm sure there's many examples, and there'll probably be more examples in the future. So don't fucking tell me that MAID is some good thing, or that MAID is only meant for severe issues that can't be replaced. It's a fucking stair lift. And you're also offering it to people who can't pay their rent. So, that's what's going on over here in Canada. What a fun time to be alive. Bye.